Don't worry, I said. Guacamole is an acquired taste. I'm not worried, she said. I'm just hungry. She was wearing Salvatore Ferragamo in the jungle. I was still adjusting to the new biome myself. At first, it was difficult to coordinate with the gorillas. Her Spanish was good, so she became the liaison. I read Ptolemy under the southern stars. My boots are too formal for the jungle and too casual for the city. The work is painful. The adrenaline is an analgesic. Verizon was, and still is, a valued corporate partner. The banking team is surprisingly well versed in metallurgy. I can't RSVP until I have a disguise. We arrived at the brasserie dressed as caterers. Her svelte figure caught the minister's eye, just as Chief predicted. Jackie was lucky no one picked up on his accent. She served pepperoncini with a tight smile as I photographed documents in the kitchen. The minister recoils from the gaudy Merlot pairing. Is our cover blown? We had no idea we were enabling the oogenesis of a new power. The gala was ruined by jealous love. We retreated to the jungle as fireworks lit the southern sky. It was the first of several times Jackie would blame things on Belarus. I lay in the hammock at base, dreaming of LA. We would resume our reconnaissance in the morning. For now, we tried to forget about the mission. This is all I was able to procure, she said, producing a bottle of Dom Perignon. Glyph sulked in his tent as the rest of us gathered for pinochle. Chief, who had posed as a waiter, said Lasso had been seated at the president's table. I finished the last of the now warm champagne and said good night. She stumbled into my tent an hour later, surprisingly tipsy for a femme fatale. Eventually, I yield to uneasy jungle dreams. A temple of finance, 2,000 feet above the megacity. They each have a sausage McMuffin around the corner. It's the only affordable meal in the zone. The radio still works in the elevator, of course. A familiar feeling. Has he been in this building before? He's wearing his formal uniform. White shoes, red suit, blue radio. You can dress for success, but you can't have it all. We awoke to the sound of Jackie strumming a mournful Latin melody on his guitar. I knew immediately that something was wrong. He seemed absent as we planned the route for the day's expedition. We would hike to the beach, stopping in town for a cerveza. Even in times of war, we must occasionally enjoy a drink with friends. We are cursed with an impossible mission in hell, I said, taking the final slice of breakfast quiche. Excuse me, said Jackie. I had planned to eat that. Okay, I said. Let's split it. Is nothing sacred? Said Jackie, struggling to get the words out. The two of us would have to reconcile later. We had to leave immediately to reach the beach by nightfall. Even in her bulky field gear, She looked pretty hot. Friendship, money, love. These are difficult words for a regulator. I must have had some idea that we were doomed, but I was too young to care. Who can regulate the economics of passion? Back then, I only had two things to live for: her and the mission. We hiked without speaking, listening to the sounds of the jungle. In such an unfamiliar place, you lose track of what is real. I resolved to speak with Dr. Colorado as soon as I returned to LA. We saw 3 gorillas approaching with unhappy faces. I hoped they wouldn't notice my American accent. They did not prepare me for this in school or on-the-job training. In moments of carnage, it was clear that battle was fun for Jackie. I had a cyanide caramel in my pocket in case I was captured. Through the pain, I tried to recall happier times spent in Jubilee Tower on 2-for-1 Tuesdays. We tried to net ride for help, but unsurprisingly, our router was down. When the assault became unbearable, Glyph used his Aegis to shield our party. It was a welcome maneuver, albeit late. I myself had been prepared to use a powerful combat lean, but only as a last resort. As we resumed our hike, I thought of 10 mysteries. First, who was the architect of our mission? Second, why did the regulator's office acquiesce to working with the banks? Third, why would a financier of Jackie's status choose to accompany us for fieldwork? Fourth, what secret research led to our loci in Nicaragua? Fifth, what wasn't Chief telling me about the Tlaxcala office? Sixth, why had the minister sketched an Ouroboros on his napkin last night? Seventh, why was there a 5-year gap on Glyph's curriculum vitae? Eighth, what connection did Chief's ex-wife have with President City? Ninth, what would happen to this country and its economy if we won? And 10th, why did she insist we conceal our relationship from the rest of the squad? One day, these questions will be answered in a splendid exegesis. I was certain that someone in LA knew the answers to all 10 mysteries. Or perhaps I already knew them myself. We reached the beach just in time for an exquisite ocean sunset. Nicole slipped out of her hiking uniform into a slim Karl Lagerfeld ensemble. I shed my clothes and jumped into the ocean. It amuses me now to recall how I took my physical body for granted. Chief and Jackie were already unpacking the food bag. It was their turn to prepare dinner. Jackie used a kukri to chop tomatoes, slicing with violent intensity. Why was he always so grim when preparing Italian food? Chief was in charge of the aubergine, which he cultivated himself back in LA. When the risotto was properly al dente, Chief called the team to a makeshift dinner table. Nicole slipped out of her Karl Lagerfeld ensemble into a simple Egal Azrael gown. That was the last time I was with Nicole. Her image lingers in my new consciousness system.